Sri Lanka. To finish off the episode this Friday, you're here with me, Amaya. Now, I've taken over from Jason and Banu because I'm here to speak to a very special gentleman, and they decided that Jason and Banu could not handle this. So it's me this morning with you, all right? But no, out of jokes, I have with me again, we had with him yesterday on the show as well, the CEO of the Sri Lanka Rugby Football Union, and he is Mr. Alistair Savaramuttu. Good morning, sir. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I feel as though I've never been away.
Do you? How funny is that? So do I. All right. But if you talk about the excitement that's going down tomorrow, now you must be very excited about what's going to happen tomorrow, because tomorrow, the 26th of October, is going to be the kickoff of the Tri-Nations Serendip Cup, which is happening here in Sri Lanka and happening at the Racecourse grounds. And this is an IRB sanctioned tournament happening in Sri Lanka, which is the very special thing. And tomorrow is going to be Sri Lanka versus Madagascar. So what can we expect from this match?
Absolutely. Well, what we can expect is some a fanfare of rugby. As I've said before, actually I do not know how the game's going to go. Madagascar are slightly higher than us in the world rankings. Lower than us in the world rankings.
I see.
But you know, they're a team with ambition as well, like Sri Lanka. They've got everything to play for, and they're pushing in Africa to qualify for the World Cup. So this is going to be one hell of a humdinger, and really, it's not going to be one for the faint-hearted either. I think there's going to be a lot of niggle, a lot of aggression to be had. And
right.
I think the first 20 minutes of tomorrow's game is going to be pretty significant.
All right. So, especially when you have an African country in the mix, I always find that they have a lot of fun on the field. They're really jolly guys, and they're great to have around. And especially if you think about the World Cup final even. It was West Indies, in cricket, it was West Indies versus Sri Lanka, and there was a party atmosphere because the West Indians were partying very hard. So do you expect that sort of atmosphere, and what do you know about the Madagascar team?
Unfortunately, I don't know too much about the Madagascar team, other than I've seen the photographs of the team. I've seen a few little snippets of some IRB rugby footage, but I think that's the beauty of this. It's the unknown, and I think, let's be honest, sometimes it's nice to go into this. But for me, I'm not involved with the team as such in the preparation. So these boys are preparing for the unknown, and they're preparing, I suppose, for a very, very difficult test match, but no, this has got everything to play for on Saturday, and one that we, by winning, really enforce our place in the IRB World Ranking table.
Because it is quite a balanced tournament, isn't it? I mean, Poland, you mentioned yesterday, were 28th in the world rankings, and if Madagascar is somewhere below Sri Lanka, then you have Sri Lanka in the middle. So it's going to be a very interesting tournament to sort of see how it all pans out.
It is, and our first game against Madagascar is going to set the scene, really. The Poles aren't arriving till Sunday, so they don't get to see us play, which is one thing. And then we're quite fortunate, we get a chance to see Poland against Madagascar, so we'll see the Poles. So, you know, like any home nation, we've got a lot of, we've got a good position to see the opposition. Well, certainly the Polish side.
So is it going to be a steep learning curve for our boys as well?
I would say so. Again, I think
quick adjustments.
Yeah, the Polish side are going to be the tougher one, I should imagine. Certainly going to be more physical. And again, from what I've seen on the early photographs, the Polish boys are pretty big.
I see.
Yeah, they're big guys. So
Europeans tend to be much bigger than the Asian physique, I think. So when you add rugby player to the mix,
well, it's the eating habits. I think they're more professional in the way they have their diets. Power and speed in Europe is second nature. In Asia, it's natural ability, really. But we've got to start homing in, and we've got to start sort of applying the science.
All right.
In Sri Lanka.
That's when everything will click into place, and you will get world-class players here in Sri Lanka.
Absolutely,
as well.
I think so.
All right. So let's talk about the venue. Now, the Racecourse grounds were very recently they concluded the entire refurbishment of that particular ground. So I think this is one of the biggest tournaments that's going to be happening there in a long time. So what do you think about the venue? Is it up to international standards, and what have you done to bring it up
Absolutely. I mean, the venue's superb. I mean, you know, I've been to many...
It's gorgeous.
Oh,
it's a gorgeous
absolutely.
venue.
I've been to many venues around the world, and, you know, yes, it's not the biggest. It's not the biggest of national stadiums, but I tell you, it's the most beautiful. And I think, you know, Trevor Nugari has done a fantastic job there in maintaining the landscape and maintaining its wow factor as a fantastic venue. for sheer beauty. So for me, that adds to it tomorrow, I think. And I'm really excited to see what it looks like when it's at full capacity, we hope, and a nice day without the rain, you know. But fingers crossed, everything will be absolutely perfect on the day.
But rain or shine, rugby is one of those sports that goes on, right? Nothing stops the show.
Absolutely. Rain, I think for us, I think it would be better if it didn't rain. But saying that, Madagascar are probably used to the same conditions, to be fair.
Okay, all right.
So no, it's going to be a good game.
Weather plays a big part in this sport as well. I mean, does the game plan change and do the tactics change once the weather gods decide they're going to do this on this particular day?
I think when you're talking at international level, I think the team have to have the ability to look and read what's in front of them. I think the weather's one thing, but at the end of the day, you've got to play to the opposition. You've got to play to look at their weaknesses and look at their strengths. So, if the weather's in your favour for anything, maybe a long kick to the corners or whatever it is, I think you've got to see what the opposition's about first, and then decide on the best play. Weather's just,
secondary. Okay.
Well, it is at international level.
Okay, all right. But speaking about international level, now you have Ronnie Ibrahim, who is the coach of the Sri Lankan team. So what has he been doing to really get the team up to speed for this tournament, international tournament?
Well, given that the Poles aren't watching and the Madagascans aren't watching, at the moment I haven't seen any in the studio, so maybe maybe it's safe. I think, Ronnie's, it's a new appointment for Ronnie. He's just come in, and I think he's almost been led a little bit by these boys. Our boys are full of confidence.
I see.
They played a lot of sevens rugby. But I've seen a couple of the sessions, and I think it's important that continuity is a major part of our game. And when we've got the ball, we build phase upon phase upon phase, and we don't give the ball away. So what I've seen Ronnie doing and the players doing is ensuring that really the ball is a very valuable asset. We don't want to give it away. And I think the boys are finding a strategic plan to play to. And again, when you've got opposition, obviously it makes it very much more difficult. But I think Ronnie's done a good job, and if nothing else, the team will be ready for Saturday, no doubt.
On that note, we have to go for a very short commercial break. But if you do want to check out some of the rugby action happening tomorrow, which you really should, head down to the racecourse grounds, and that's going to be Madagascar versus Sri Lanka. So do stay with us right here on Good Morning Sri Lanka. We'll be right back.